Young and the Restless early spoilers June 23rd to 27th. Victor and Dumas clash ignites. Young and the Restless spoilers for June 23rd to 27th 2025 see Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, versus Aristotle Dumas, Billy Flynn, exploding. This is going to be a nuclear showdown of two men that really do not like each other. And of course, the identity reveal of the mystery man is coming. As we always do on early edition day, we dive in first with what's coming the rest of this week. Young and the Restless spoilers. Daniel, Danny, and a proposal. On Wednesday, June 18th, Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, and his son, Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziade, are chatting and he updates Danny about Lucy Romalotti, Lily Brooks O'Brien, doing better now that she's processing through some of her grief. She's making some more friends. Things are going well with her. And Danny is absolutely thrilled that Daniel is making music with Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and that it's therapeutic. But Daniel also insists that he and Tessa are just friends when Danny starts asking about that and poking a little bit. However, the dynamic between Daniel and Tessa could change very soon, like by the end of this week and definitely going into next week. Daniel is still missing Heather Stevens, Vale Bloom, and grieving her loss. And Danny, of course, regrets not being present in the way he thinks he should have been for Daniel, but his son reassures him. And then big news. Danny reveals he's going to propose to Christine Cricket Blair Williams, Laura Lee Bell. And then he laughs and says he's going to let Daniel tell Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, about the engagement because Danny doesn't want to have to deal with her. I don't blame him. Daniel offers his blessing. Mariah and Tessa's relationship crisis. A Young and the Restless breakdown. Meanwhile, Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, is spiraling and flashing back to whatever dodgy deed she did with that very old man, and she won't look Tessa in the eye. And Mariah insists that what she did was worse than a one-night stand. Tessa says they can get past it, but Mariah wants to split up with her and even has a visitation schedule in hand for their daughter, Aria Porter Copeland. Mariah says she cannot ever tell Tessa what she did. So, I actually hope this is something good and not something stupid they're making into a big deal. You know, I don't know if she murdered this guy and dumped his body. I have no idea. But he reminds me a lot of Ian Ward, Ray Wise. So I'm a little worried. But Mariah insists she has to work through it on her own and says she is not going to change her mind about this and walks out on her wife. Tessa is breaking down. She's sobbing. And Daniel walks up, finds her in this state, and is comforting her. Tessa is in Daniel's arms when Mariah comes back, but then she spots them together and walks away looking pretty dejected. Chelsea's accusations and Adam's promise. The Young and the Restless drama unfolds. At work, Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, goes nuts and she randomly accuses Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, of lying to her and going behind her back and publishing hit pieces about Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. Anyway, after they agreed they weren't going to do it. Chelsea really thought he was up to something. And Adam is like, what are you talking about? He was just at his computer playing a video game online with their son Connor Newman, Judah Mackey. So Chelsea realizes that she was being a little crazy. She says she's sorry and then they do sexy stuff on the couch. So obviously Adam's going to forget about Chelsea's crazy, right? Adam promises that he's not going to break Chelsea's heart, but they both know once Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, sees that they defied him and did not run any of the hit pieces on Billy, there will be consequences. Now the lucky thing right now, Adam knows his dad is very distracted with this Dumas thing in France. So, he thinks they have a little bit of time before the wrath of Victor heads their way. But Adam and Chelsea vow to face Victor together. Come what may. Young and the Restless spoilers. The Dumas identity reveal and Jack's regret. On Thursday, June 19th, Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, is ready to finally get the answers that she's been after. But Carter, the mystery man's assistant, keeps delaying and he keeps changing the story about when Dumas will meet them. And it seems like he's definitely lying. For instance, Carter says that Dumas' flight was delayed. But we know the mystery man has been in his lair watching everybody assembled on hidden cameras. If Agatha Christie had surveillance equipment, this is what we would be looking at. As of now, Kane Ashby, formerly Daniel Goddard, still looks like the likeliest candidate of Dumas' real identity. But we're supposed to find out on Friday. We're going to get a look at Dumas on Friday, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to reveal his identity because if they just show his face and drop jaws, you know, the identity is not going to be confirmed. So, it may be a cliffhanger thing where on Monday then somebody says his name. Young and the Restless spoilers. Jack's regrets. Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, begins to regret delaying his honeymoon with Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, to play these reindeer games. He doesn't care about Chancellor and he thinks Billy can just deal with whatever with Victor. But Diane is worried about Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, and what Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, has planned. So, she will likely tell Jack they can't go yet. Audra's scheme to entice Kyle seems to be going off well. We're going to see Audra with Kyle getting up close and personal in her space. Close enough to sniff her, which is strange. But is he drunk? Is he drugged? I don't know. Seems strange. Josh Griffith spoilers say that Audra's old feelings re-emerge and complicate things. Amanda's connection to Dumas and a familiar face returns to Genoa City. On Friday, June 20th, Amanda Sinclair's, Miss Hale Morgan, real connection to Dumas is revealed. Is she more than his lawyer? The wait's finally over. Dumas unveils himself to everybody assembled at the chateau. But the big question is, like I said, are they just going to gape at him or is somebody going to gasp out his name in the final moments of Friday's episodes? Because supposedly he is the last person they expect. But since this is presumably some sort of recast, seeing Billy Flynn's face isn't going to help identify it for any of the viewers. And if you don't know Billy Flynn, trust me, you're going to love him. He was so good on Days of Our Lives. He's an excellent actor. Young and the Restless spoilers. Kyle's betrayal, Victor's plot, and Billy's alliance. The week of June 23rd through the 27th, Audra thinks she has Kyle right where she wants him with Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, focused on her dad and Kyle over. Kyle's at the chateau and Claire is in Chicago with Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley. They're worried about Cole Howard's, Eddie Peck, health. Audra can play games to get Kyle to betray Claire to her heart's content. Of course, Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, is going to find out if he's angry, and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, remains an ongoing problem. We'll see if Jack and Diane can save Kyle from Audra and Victor Newman's wicked plot.